Meanwhile, the Reserve Bank will undergo its biggest overhaul in decades after Labor struck a deal with the Greens to split the bank into separate committees. Speaking at a function in Sydney, Governor Michelle Bullock says the bank has already become more open and dynamic.
In a Q&A with economists, this was RBA Governor Michelle Bullock's response to reforms billed as the biggest for more than 3 decades.
But I think we're already moving that direction, so we're just going to keep on moving that direction and basically being agile.
Legislation to overhaul Australia's central bank came after the government did a deal with independent and Greens ministers. The biggest change will see the RBA's board split into 2, one focusing on monetary policy, including interest rate decisions, and the other on governance. It follows last year's sweeping review, with some recommendations already in place.
We've set out to become a more open and dynamic central bank, trusted for our analysis and service delivery. We're now in the 2nd year of this initiative and we've made a lot of progress, significant progress, but there's a lot of work remains.
The RBA governor is adamant that interest rates will not be cut until the underlying rate of inflation falls below 3%, and that's not forecast to happen for another 2 years.
If we fail to bring inflation down in a sustainable way, cost of living pressures will only compound and monetary policy would need to remain restrictive for longer.
There was a warning that Australia's labour market was too tight to copy the interest rate cuts in other comparable economies. And with US President-elect Donald Trump threatening a trade tariffs war, the RBA governor discussed the potential implications for Australia.
We have to set policy based on what we know, not based on shadows. So if there are large tariffs, for example, on China, Chinese trade will probably try to find other ways to find an outlet, and Australia might even be a beneficiary of that. When China slows down, that has impacts on our economy.
There was also an admission that government spending was helping to keep the economy afloat, and without that investment, things could be, quote, much worse. Alex Thomas, Sky News.